This protocol describes sediment sampling and I-button retrieval for the Perturbation Response Traits project. 2 people are needed to accomplish this protocol. We recommend wearing safety glasses due to working with liquid chemical RNA later. The MSDS is included in the box. This protocol describes the following activities: identifying 10 sediment sampling locations along the transect previously marked with I-buttons, collecting sediment samples at each location, retrieving the previously deployed I-buttons, and shipping samples back to PNNL. Sediment will be collected from 10 sites that should be 1 meter away from one of the 5 I-button sensors. That is, sediments will be collected 1 meter upstream of each I-button and 1 meter downstream of each I-button. More important than the exact distance from the I-button is sampling in depositional locations that have fine sediment and that will have experienced the same inundation dynamics as the I-button. When collecting metadata and sampling, be sure to keep track of sampling locations which are numbered 1 to 10. Site 1 should be the most upstream, Site 10 should be the most downstream. Mark your chosen sediment locations with the provided flags. At each sediment sampling location, if the location is not inundated or underwater, use the provided string, level, and measuring tape to estimate the vertical offset in centimeters between the water's edge and the riverbed surface at the sampling location. To measure the vertical offset, one person holds one end of the string without the level at the sampling location against the sediment. The second person extends the measuring tape and places the end of it at the water's edge so that it extends vertically to the sky. The person holding the measuring tape takes the other end of the string with the level and places it at the end of the string against the measuring tape. It is critical to pull the string tight so that it does not droop or sag. The second person adjusts the string up and down along the measuring tape until the levels bubble is exactly between the 2 lines. Starting at the most downstream location, Site 10, put on a new pair of nitrile gloves. Locate the metal scoop and scupula wrapped in foil. Unwrap the tools, ensure you only touch the scupula handles and not the spoons. The same tools will be used for all sediment sites. Rinse both the scoop and the scupula in stream water or DI water prior to sampling. If you need to put them down during sampling, place them on the clean side of the foil. There are 2 components to the sediment sampling. At all 10 locations, undisturbed sediment will be collected to fill 2 empty 50 milliliter tubes and 1 25 milliliter tube. In addition, at the most upstream, most downstream, and the midpoint location, 2 additional green cap tubes will be used to collect sediment into RNA later to preserve microbial communities. It is vital to ensure the right sample number is used for each location. When you receive the kit, the tubes should be bundled by location, but please verify each label before use. Collect from at least 3 to 5 spots within the sampling location to get a representative sample. Keep the spots close together within 30 centimeters of each other and at a consistent elevation so that they would have experienced the same inundation dynamic. First, fill 1 50 ml empty tube and then the 25 ml empty tube. They are the highest priority. If you have sediment available at a given location, continue filling the other 50 ml tube. If there is enough sediment for both the RNA later tubes, collect those samples as well. After sampling a location, rinse the scoop and scupula in stream or DI water to reduce cross-contamination. Sampling should avoid large debris greater than 4 millimeters to allow for the collection of enough sediment for analysis. As needed, use the scupula to push large rocks out of the scoop and push sediments from the scoop into the tube. Do not use your hands for this. For the 50 ml green capped with clear liquid, there are 2 tubes at locations 1, 5, and 10. Fill to the Sharpie line. Overfilling will make the samples unusable. After collecting sediments, collect all the I-buttons. Please do not remove I-buttons from their housings or modify them in any way. Simply place each I-button with its housing in the appropriate Ziploc bag. When you're ready to ship, prepare to package the items into 2 boxes. If you have your original I-button box, please use it for the I-buttons. If you do not, please use any box you have available. You can pick one up for free at FedEx. In the I-button box, or the box you have provided, place the Ziplocs with the eye buttons into the box. Also include the tools from the sediment box, including the measuring tape, scoops, scupulas, and a level. Please do not return gloves. In the sediment kit sampling box, place some ice packs into the box on top of the provided absorbent padding. Put the 50 ml tubes into the provided Ziplocs and then place them on top of the ice packs. All sample tubes must be inside of a Ziploc bag. Place the remaining ice packs on top and around the 50 ml sample tubes. The most important component is to have the 50 ml tubes as cold as possible. Pack the 25 ml tubes in the remaining space. Their temperature is not as critical. They don't have to be surrounded by ice packs. Once you have finished packing the cooler, put the lid on top. Fill out the field on the paper metadata sheet for the time and date the box is packed, and then place the paper metadata sheet on top of the lid of the cooler. This will keep it dry. All shipments should be stored in the refrigerator until they are shipped on a Monday, Tuesday, or Wednesday. It is critical that overnight shipping be made on one of these days. Please do not ship later in the week. It is critical you follow the instructions for the USDA APHIS permit. If your site is USDA APHIS regulated, a copy of the receiving permit will be included in your kit in a plastic sleeve ready for return shipping. The permit will need to be adhered to the outside of the box along with the pre-filled shipping label. If you have any questions at all, contact Amy. Finally, thank you for participating in this year's sampling campaign. Without your time, effort, and attention to detail, this would not be possible.